All right, guys, what's going on? It's your boy Jay from Twitter. Oh man, I can't believe this. I'm really excited. I'm messing up already. I got two special guests. This is amazing, guys. Once again, this is not financial advice. Any cryptos we do talk about, we are not asking you to buy them. This is not that situation. So please do not take your investment advice from a guy who delivers boxes all day long. That's just crazy talk right there. So I actually am really excited about this because it's a father and son into crypto, and I want to ask them their journey and how they got there, and get some information on what they're doing for crypto and what their jobs are now in crypto. So um, everything happens for a reason. In all honesty, I wanted to ask Honeybadger for this interview for a while, and I was kind of like nervous. I was like, I thought he was gonna tell me no. I didn't think he was gonna do it. He's like, what do you want to interview me for? That's crazy. But I took a shot. Wednesday, he gave me a compliment on Wednesday and it gave me an opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to go for it. So I'll ask him. And he said yes. And then he said, well, on the roundtable, I have some really good information, or actually some exciting information to tell everybody. So this will be perfect. So, we'll get into that a little bit later. But Honeybadger, I really want to say thank you for acknowledging my video and saying, it was a good video with crypto.
Rabbit.
It meant a lot to me. It really does. When people say like, hey, you did a good job, or retweets or likes your tweets or anything like that, it means a lot to us. It really does. So I just
Yeah,
want to say
well,
thank you guys.
yeah. No, listen, the pleasure's all mine. When you reached out to say, do you want to come on with your son and talk about your journey? I was like, fuck yes, I do. Might show a different side, to myself and obviously Jonathan as well, getting his face in front of the camera for the first time. But no, that video with Rabbit was brilliant, mate. I loved it. So yeah, no, it was more thoroughly deserved, and it's a pleasure to be here. Really appreciate it.
And thank you, Jonathan, for being here as well and being the first time on video. Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a bit nerve-wracking, but we'll manage.
So just I don't know if you're old enough to drink in Scotland. Is that
Oh yeah.
yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just share the glass with your dad.
Oh, he joins in on the drinking games on the round table. So yeah.
All right. So if you guys can I apologize. If you guys can introduce yourselves, just let us know, who you are a little bit.
I'll go first.
Right.
Either or.
So yeah, Honeybadger here. David is actually my real name, and I'm the co-host of the Investors Roundtable alongside Todd Hart and DeFi Connection on a Friday night on YouTube, and co-host and organizer of the Investor Pit, which is on Twitter Spaces. And yeah, that's it essentially.
All right. And I am Vibes XMR. My real name is Jonathan. I am obviously his son, and I've just recently taken a job as a junior dev at AnonyDoxx.
Awesome. So I want to talk about the roundtable. You do AMAs with different crypto tokens and coins. So what are your goals when you do those interviews? What do you want to get out of those people to help out other investors? What are you trying to do with that?
Yeah, well, there's two things. Obviously, Todd has his own CEO corner where he interviews CEOs and things like that. The roundtable, I mean, let's be honest, it's just a piss up on a Friday night. It's very loose. It's meant to be amusing. It's meant to be funny, and for the community to get involved with. And the community we're building is it's got a real nice support bubble there. I feel there's a lot of like-minded investors. The Investor Pit is great because you've got investors reaching out to, present projects that they're really interested in, or that they're really enthusiastic about. It could be their favorite projects, and having a show that's, essentially hosted by investors for investors, it just gives a different dynamic to it because it's not core teams of, various projects that are coming on trying to sell what they're doing. It's actual investors that are interacting. In terms of the AMAs, I think it's just to try and bring a little bit of value to the projects, but also to go maybe a little bit more in depth with the actual projects themselves and do a slightly deeper dive into it. And it's really, for me, like you said, it's never financial advice or anything of that nature. I myself, I just use YouTube, and I used to, even Todd's show as an additional research tool. That's it, to find out information. A lot of people maybe aren't comfortable speaking to CEOs or speaking to project leaders and asking those sort of open-ended questions to sort of dive deeper. So if we can help do that and help spark an interest, in a number of different projects, so people can use some of that information to further their own research, then job done as far as I'm concerned.
Awesome. Yeah. You kind of went into a couple of my other questions, but we'll get to those later. But
Yeah.
like you have interviewed, I think it was I read on Twitter that it was the Roundtable AMA, and then you guys bring over CEOs and you talk to them. So like let's say Reward Miner or Volt
Y-5.
Finance,
We did one with DFS Mafia there. That was a
DFS
brilliant one
Mafias.
as well. But yeah, it's
So
just to try and add a little bit of value, really. That's
yeah,
all.
so it's the three of you guys asking questions and trying to get more information for the community out there, people that have not realized what's going on with this token yet. So which
Yeah.
one was the funnest to do?
The funnest.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, the Y5 one was good. They've all been great, to be fair. The Y5 one was good because it had quite a lot of hype behind it, and it got a shitload of listens and views. And the last one, the DFS Mafia one, was brilliant because Chris and Dan are just top notch. They just did so well at it. But I enjoy all of this. Everything I do is great fun, to be honest.
Awesome. So let's talk about it. AnonyDoxx just brought on a very, very special guy. Let's
go.
I I am so excited about this. In all honesty, like, what are you doing for AnonyDoxx? Explain, please. Let everybody know how you got there,
So
and
far,
what are you doing? How'd you get there?
well, so far I'm mostly taking a training role. So I decided to start learning some languages recently get get into Solidity and get into programming. Since I used to do it at school, I stopped doing it, and then I decided to start getting into crypto. And from crypto, I saw an opportunity to start using programming, and that's how I started learning Solidity. So, well, Solidity is basically the language that cryptos tend to run on Ethereum and Binance and things like that. And after learning through Solidity, I decided to start doing more full stack development using other languages. And I was talking to Jonah from AnonyDoxx a lot and just keeping him updated with what I was doing. And they actually paid for my first Solidity course so that I could start learning from there and just being going at it. And eventually they just decided to offer me a junior dev position, which is currently obviously still in training, but hopefully we can move from there onwards.
Yeah, I don't see you having a problem. You'll definitely get there.
Thank you.
That's
Well, listen,
amazing.
he's been stuck in front of a PC his whole life, and I used to shout at him and say, "Get outside and play." And I'm glad he didn't listen to me when he was a young teenager now.
It's funny because my son, I want him to start coding and learning situations like that as well. So I'm like, look, this guy's 19 years old. You can do this. He's like, Dad, I'm like 14. Relax, bro. I'm like, no, you got to start early. Come on, let's go. So I think I'm about to buy him a PC so he can do the same thing, and hopefully he gets
Well,
interested like you are.
well, that's it. When he was 9 years old, he started saving up all his birthday money, Christmas money, various other things for 4 years. He saved up, and when he was 13, his 13th birthday, he bought all the components and built his own PC. Well, one of my friends helped him build it, but yeah, that's where it really sort of started.
Best investment of my life by
Right.
far.
That's awesome. How did you guys pick your names? You guys both have different names, obviously. So how'd you guys pick them?
You can go first.
All right. Um, so Vibes XMR. The reason I picked XMR is it was the first. Well, Monero was the first crypto that I ever heard about, and it's still my absolute favorite. And yeah, I just really love Monero. But Vibes, I don't know. I just like good vibes and being vibey and I just like warm, comfortable, silky, vibey stuff. That's just it.
He's like a young hippie.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So
Honey
yeah, that's
Badger?
how I have my name.
Well, it was Honeybadger was my boxing name. So you know how they sort of they do when the ring announcers will do, Floyd the Money Mayweather or whatever. Well, Honeybadger was my sort of middle name for the ring announcer. So yeah, that's where it came from. I don't know if you know what a honey badger is, but they're fearless and they're incredibly aggressive animals. In fact, the most aggressive in the world. I wouldn't say I'm like that, but it was just a boxing thing, mate. Not scared of anyone, basically.
Wow. I had no idea you were a boxer. I had no clue. That's amazing. I'm big into boxing. I love boxing. So that's awesome.
Oh, yeah, love it. Absolutely love it.
He's really scary.
So what was your record in boxing? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I only had three fights, 3 wins, 2 knockouts.
Really?
So I did. Yeah, I didn't. One of my friends, he was actually from Dundee, where we're from, in Scotland, and he was a professional, and he died in the ring.
Oh,
Mikey
sorry.
Till, his name was, and it was at that point. I mean, I was older, and I didn't really start it until I was about 33. And trained. I was like, I don't know how many pounds I weighed at that point. I don't know the pounds sort of conversion, but I was 90 odd kilos anyway. And I've stripped down to about 75 in 6 months, and then had like my first fight and stuff. But yeah, I only had three, and once that happened, I think I kind of woke me up. I went, I'm too old to be getting hit in the head repeatedly. I'm not going to do anything with it. It was just, amateur boxing in a ring and stuff, but it was brilliant fighting in front of a crowd and all that. It was the best feeling ever.
Yeah, it's pretty fun to go at combat, like whatever it is, whether it's MMA or boxing or karate of some sort. That's amazing.
Oh, you're doing a bit as well, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm doing jiu-jitsu and some kickboxing and MMA and things like that. I just need to get the consistency,
Yeah.
Well, don't break your fingers. You need your fingers, so don't mess those up.
Yeah, exactly. Look after your hands.
You can mess up this, but don't break these. That I can't believe that. Like that threw me off. I had no idea you were going to tell me that. That's amazing. Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man. Let's see. So, you guys are obviously father and son, like we talked about. And I just wanted to know what's been the journey like in your crypto situation? Like, how's it been?
Will I go to start it?
Yeah, on you go.
Well, Jonathan's been trading stocks and GameStop and things like that and various others for a while. And it was around about this time last year, wasn't it? Where he'd been involved with crypto and buying Monero and a few other things, ETH and all that kind of stuff. And then he showed me how to use Binance. So I was like, right, what is this stuff? Because when I was working away on the oil rigs, people, like, more and more people were talking about crypto, and I just thought, it's just magic internet money. It's not real, all that stuff. And then, yeah, he showed me how to use Binance, and then we had a bit of a go at that. It was just a good time because it was just before the end of the bull run, so we made a little bit of money even on ETH when ETH was like 2.5. I think it was 2.5K when I bought it, but then it went up to like 4.7. So we basically made a little bit, but it was when we were looking at Binance, we kept on seeing these, new launch projects, and they would be like 20 cents, and then all of a sudden they'd be like $7. I was like, how do you get in before that stage? Like, how do you get to buy it when it's like 20 cents, even before that? And yeah, it was on Twitter, and it was actually DeFi Connection's old handle. I think it was it Evergrow for Life, or no. What was it again?
EGC Army.
EGC Army. And he posted about Rematic. And I went, oh, here's an actual launch. So we had to figure out, it was like in 2 days' time, we had to figure out how to use Pink Sale and all that kind of stuff, and Trust Wallet and all that. And then it's just sort of gone from there, really. That was the start of the journey, essentially. So yeah, quite incredible.
Vibes, let me know. What was your
all thanks to Rematic and DeFi Connection, obviously. So for me, I started obviously with Monero. I just found it really interesting to have a completely untraceable, unhackable currency and very cypherpunk. And from there, obviously, I was just doing exactly what he said. And then he was talking to me more and more about crypto and how people offshore were buying lots of crypto. And he just asked me to give him a bit of a tutorial on how to use it and generally how to use like limit sales, limit orders, and things like that. And yeah, then obviously I kind of helped introduce him to it, but he then just completely took the reins and just got obsessed and just went full pelt until he knew far more than me about everything to do with everything. And that's how he found Dramatic. And I was away in Portugal, and he gave me a call, and he was like, "Right, I found something here. I found something very interesting." So we got the full setup. We were pretty confused, but we managed to get our buy-in, and we were quite happy with how Dramatic went. And from there, we met all the people that we know.
Yeah.
That has led us to every other project we've ended up with. And then a lot later on, he found out that DeFi Connection is he was on the show with DeFi, and while he was on the show, he found out that that was his handle previously that he found Dramatic from.
That was incredible story.
It's like predestination.
So it was meant to be.
Yeah. Oh, it's just incredible the way it sort of all worked out. Because I think Todd had messaged, if you had a look at Dramatic, Todd had actually messaged DeFi back in those days, and then he hadn't, and then Todd sent him another reminder. Did you look at it? Did you look at Dramatic? And then he did, and then put that tweet out. I saw it. Then we've had this whole journey, and now I'm on doing a show, like on Todd's channel with DeFi Connection and Todd. It's just totally bizarre how things fall into place, mate. It's incredible, really, and it's those relationships we've managed to build along the way. That's what's sort of driven all of this. Really, it's just a brilliant place and market to operate in. If you meet the right people and make the right sort of friendships and the right sort of community, it's fantastic. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, that's the honest truth right there. It's networking with your friends and making these great relationships and getting further. It's awesome.
Yeah, so, well, it's funny, Jay, just before you move on, because when Jonathan was a young teenager, he'd be, headset on, playing games, PC games, and he'd be like, I've got friends in Egypt, I've got friends in Australia, and I was like, sort of, Jonathan, they're not your friends. You need to go out and socialize and, muck around and all the rest of it. And it's funny because now I've come into this space over the last 8 months, really. And, I actually have built real friendships with a lot of people. And obviously made a brilliant relationship with obviously Todd and Brad and many others in the community as well. And so I get it now. I understand what he was saying. It's just like a real eye-opener for me, this whole experience. And I like I said, I absolutely love being part of it.
That's awesome.
I've told you.
Yeah, no, you were right.
So child wisdom.
So does Jonathan borrow money from you so he could buy into new tokens and whatnot?
Does he? Does he? Fuck, he's got more money than me.
Really? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Never mind with that. I thought he would be like, "Hey, Dad, look, there's this new token coming out. I just need a couple BNB. Just send it my way, and we'll be good. I promise."
No chance. He's got enough of himself. He's set up.
So I think I might know Jonathan's first job, but if it's wrong, tell me anyways. But I want to know what your guys' first job was.
Oh God, my first job.
It has to be it could be any small job, like, whatever.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I did, strawberry and raspberry picking when I was a teenager, and litter picking and all kinds of stuff. Milk, paper rounds, delivering papers. That was when I was very young. My first real job after school, I worked in a casino. I was a croupier. Used to deal roulette, blackjack, free card brag, Texas Hold'em poker for the poker tournaments, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I did that for a few years. That was my first kind of real job, if you like.
My first job was working in a pawn shop.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
old were you? Because you're barely 19.
16.
Oh my.
Yeah, I was not getting paid very much. Being 16, I was getting a 16-year-old's minimum wage, which is like £4.35 an hour.
It's like $5.
40 hours a
$6
week at that. Nah. But managed to get me some time to save up, so it turned out to be worth it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Like I think it's very important to start out young, as young as possible, to get a job and really
Yeah.
appreciate how hard it takes to get that money that you have in your hand. It shows
Yeah.
a lot.
Absolutely. You're totally correct. Yeah.
It definitely changed my life to start working because it forced me to be a lot more responsible for myself, which was very important at that time because I was not being responsible at all. I was just lazy, you know.
Well, you were 16, so there you go.
Fair enough.
I was gonna ask you who got who into crypto first, but I think it was Jonathan, right? So
Oh yeah.
I also had first coin, but I think we answered that as well. Unless
Oh,
it was Fnatic.
yours was
Mine was
Beneto.
Manel.
Was mine
Yeah.
ETH?
It would have been, I'm assuming.
I think I think mine was ETH.
He used to be a mad Luna raver.
Yeah, I did.
What?
Luna. I did have Luna, Matic, and XRP, and Solana, and just all the usuals really.
That aged well.
Yeah, I did have Luna. Yeah, thank God I don't. In fact, I do now. I've got about 100,000 of them, but they're worth about $12.
Oh my. So there has to be like a lot of new coins coming at both you guys now. Like, hey, talking to you, trying to get you maybe to talk about them. So how many new coins talk to you guys in a month that want to like either, have some kind of relationship with you guys?
I don't know. We need to set. I mean, you need to set.
Nothing for me, really.
Yeah, I mean, Jonathan's been building Discords, obviously, for a few projects as well. Did AnonyDoxx's reward miners, ciphers,
Rodeos.
rodeo coins and stuff like that. So he'll get, he'll try and get in. Sort of, if they're in TG but they don't have a Discord, you'll maybe approach them, or maybe just through either myself, Todd, or Brad from conversations and stuff. We might get some sort of work that way. For myself, not a huge amount, to be honest. I mean, Todd does all that sort of stuff behind the scenes. I'm just a guest essentially on his roundtable. The only time where I will have maybe a project reaching out is to be on the pit, because I obviously organise the pit. So you'll get the odd project that might say, "Oh, we'd love to have an investor come and represent, us on the pit or whatever," and that I'll have conversations about it. But other than that, that's about it, really. You need to do the digging yourself if you want sort of that kind of thing, really.
I'm surprised they're not coming after you and being like, hey, talk about my coin. I want you to, invest in it.
No.
Nothing. Wowzers. Okay.
No. I mean, the thing is as well. It's just, we say that on the roundtable. I mean, the only tokens I talk about projects are ones I'm personally invested in. Do you know what I mean? There's It's not. We don't. I wouldn't like just randomly shill a project. If they said, "Oh, can you start talking about us or whatever?" It's like, no. I'll if I invest, if I do my research and I decide to invest in you, then yeah, of course I'm gonna, and put it out there, because I'm also an investor and I'm also excited about it. And if I believe in what you're bringing, then yeah, of course I'll talk about it. But no, I don't get anyone reaching out to do that.
Oh, okay. Who inspires you guys? Like, who gets you up, motivated? What do you read or who do you listen to? Like me, it's Gary V. Like I hear him talk about like, get your ass up, go to work, quit fucking around. So who is it for you guys?
For one, my parents definitely inspire me a lot. They've just went through their whole lives and gone their separate ways, and they've both shown me different parts of themselves, and from them I've learned different parts of life which have worked well, and it's helped me a lot to have both of them. So yeah.
That's nice. Thank you. What gets me up Oh God, I don't know if it's anything specific. Trying to think. I mean, one of my main motivations for especially coming into this space, and Jonathan hinted on it earlier, was, that once I got into it, I just went woomph and just immersed myself in it. And I do tend to do that. I do have quite an addictive sort of personality, and I kind of really wanted to do that because I wanted to show him, what you can gain from working your arse off and committing to something over a period of time. And yeah, I might have been on my phone 16, 17 hours a day, my average sort of usage, like for months there from December onwards. But building those relationships and taking the time to do that is really, really helped massively. And it's why we are where we are now. And it's why he's been given that position at AnonyDoxx, as well, ultimately, too. So sort of trying to show him the right path is massive to me. And it's not just us as well. Like, I've got 2 wallets for my mum and dad who are almost 70. So I've been investing for them as well since those early rheumatic days and things like that. Because I want to give them something, for their retirement, as well. So they don't need to really think about the sort of financial aspect of it. And I want to be able to be there for them, as they age as well. And if money's required, I want to be able to have that myself, to be able to utilize it, essentially. So that's my main motivation, really. It's a family affair, really.
All right, awesome. Like I get that. I get that from both of you guys. Totally understand. Top 3 coins that you guys like right now.
Oh, now you're asking shit. Top
I was gonna
3.
ask like what's your biggest bag, but I was like, that's probably too personal, so I'll just go top 3.
Monero #1 has to be forever. AnonyDoxx, and I'm thinking Y-5. Probably Y-5.
Shit, yeah, this is hard. This is really hard. I'm gonna have to go for, fuck, Jesus, I've got so many I like. Top 3, I'm gonna have to go for Reflex, Y-5, and AnonyDoxx.
In
Awesome.
that order?
Eh?
In that order?
Well, not necessarily in that order, but just like a top 3. They were the first 3 that came to mind. But there's so many good projects, man, and so many that I'm invested in as well. I think for me, those 3 really stand a great chance of getting through ultimately what we're in, a bear market. With what they're bringing to the table. Ultimately, I think that's, for me. If you're talking long-term investments, then yeah, they're probably my top 3.
That's awesome. I share those top 3s as well. So that's great.
Yeah.
I like that. Let's see. So, on the round table, on the AMAs, the investor pits, Honeybadger, you do a really good job on telling people about scammers. And unfortunately, Vibes kind of got scammed as well. So, what can you say? You try to help out the community, like watch out for scammers, be careful, but like what's your thoughts and opinions on stuff like that? Like I obviously know, but go ahead, let the people know too.
I fucking hate them. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on this channel or not.
Too late now.
It's too late now. I just despise them. Absolutely despise them, like many people do. And you really need to try and, for me, in this space, investors really need to look out for one another. And if there are multiple red flags that are there, I don't think there's anything wrong with raising them publicly. And we've done that a few times. But it's so critical to look out for one another, I think, in this space. I can't stand them. I really, really can't. They're the bane of crypto existence. And that's why a lot of the projects that I am invested in, they're all about, trying to unite DeFi or, clean up the space and things like that as well, to try and rid it of them ultimately. And until regulation comes into DeFi, they're always gonna be there.
Vibe, you want to talk about your story about how you got scammed?
So, well, we don't really know if the person did it was actually trying to scam me or if they were the ones that actually got scammed. But
Yeah.
Basically, when I double checked, when I triple checked their name for the giveaway that I was doing, they posted their wallet address. And when I double checked their name, it was exactly identical. L's were not ones, I's were not ones, nothing like that. It was every single letter identical. But after accusing him through the DMs, it turned out that on Twitter you can replace letters for foreign characters or
Roman numerals,
no Roman numerals and things like that. So it looks perfectly identical, and so it's entirely possible that they were scammed. It's entirely possible that they scammed me, but there's no way to prove it, and I'd rather not go spouting false claims. So I'd rather just accept what's happened.
Yeah, I kind of apologized, to the guy for sort of dragging his name through the mud. At that point, because we were sort of educated on it afterwards about how that could actually be done. So it appears as though if you look at the wallet and all that as well, it does appear as though he was scammed himself as well. But it happened within seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, Twitter is a cesspit for me, and they really, I mean, the amount of bots and all that kind of stuff, and just troll accounts, alt accounts, and all that. I can't be bothered with any of that stuff, and it just infuriates me that Twitter allow it. Essentially, they really need to sort it out.
Yeah, it's no surprise that Elon pulled out because, well, they wouldn't show him how many bots were on the platform, and well, anyone that's in crypto can clearly see it's a lot of bots, you know.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring awareness to everybody that there are scammers. Be careful, do your best research as you possibly can. Don't click on any links that you don't know about. If you are talking to somebody, just be aware of what's going on that could happen to you. So, it could happen to anybody. And Honeybadger got really mad, and I was on your side at the end of the day, because as a dad, you mess with my son, I don't care if he's right, wrong, whatever happened. Don't mess with my son. But obviously you'll calm down and you'll say, I apologize. And, it's my son, it's my family. I'm sorry, but there's no way you're going to get.
And there's no bad blood there between myself and Alpha Oscar. We've spoken since, we've spoken after, and he's an avid watcher of, our content with Todd and Brad and all the rest of it. And he contributes and stuff. He's in quite a lot of the groups we're in. So there's no bad blood there whatsoever. We've apologized and kind of moved on. I deleted the tweet and all that kind of stuff. So
how do you guys feel about helping people look at new tokens? Like how do you guys what do you guys think about that? Like, well, the service that you guys are bringing into the eyes of a new token, like how do you guys look at that?
In what respect? How do you mean?
As far as like you're showing people new tokens, and like how does that make you feel? Like, are you scared to bring in new tokens? Are you excited to talk about new tokens? Like, how does that make you?
Well, on the roundtables and things like that, is that what you mean?
Roundtables, investors pits, anything.
Well, the investor pit, for pre-launch projects, I suppose there's often some trepidation there because you never really know what's going to happen. But ultimately, it's investors that are bringing the projects to us. It's not us. We don't handpick or select the projects, if that makes sense. On the roundtable, like I said, we'll only ever talk about what we're invested in. So, like, take Stacked, for example. Myself, Todd and Brad were all invested privately in a Stack. So, we lost our 5 BNB just like everyone else lost their 5 BNB, ultimately. So any sort of pain that anyone else is going through with regards to that, we're going through it as well as investors. But so that's just one example of it. So we're not there to vet projects. We're not there to dox them or do anything of that nature. Like I said earlier, if anything, all it is maybe an additional tool to add to someone's own research into it, because you've always got to do your own research, and it's your money, so you need to protect it. And when you make a decision to invest, you've got to own that decision, win, lose, or draw.
Yeah, but you can't just rely on someone on YouTube telling you,
no,
oh, this is the information. No, you need to double check that for yourself.
Correct.
And what gets said in a YouTube video isn't always all the details that you might need. So
Yeah.
it's so important to do your own research, and more use the roundtable and things like that as an infotainment rather than info.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It is just information. We're not doxing anybody. We're not, you know, endorsing any project, even whether we're invested in it or not, essentially. So you've always got to do your own research and make your own investment choices and be responsible with it. Never ever invest any more than you are willing to lose. And we've talked about that on the roundtables before. What someone might be willing, someone that's got plenty of money might be willing to lose 5 grand, but someone, you know, that doesn't have that much money, maybe they've only got 5 B&B, they should never be just putting the whole 5 B&B into one single project. You know, just you've got to sort of split it up and be sensible with your investment decisions. And I always just expect to lose it. That's the way I kind of look at it, and hopefully I don't on a number of them, and hopefully they become profitable. But that mindset is I'm going to put, you know, a couple of B&B into this, but I'm expecting to lose it. So anything, if that doesn't come to fruition, then great.
Once it's in, assume it's out.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my process too.
And yeah, I've said it, and I know you've watched the roundtables, Jay, and I've said it many times before. Never, you know, base your investment on what someone on YouTube says, like solely on that. You should never ever do it. Fucking least of all me. I'm just a daft Scotsman, you know. But do you know what I mean? You've got to make your own choices and do your own research. You know, that's the reality of it. And whether that YouTuber's videos are part of that research, that's great. But you've still got to dig in yourself and, you know, and make your own choices ultimately.
You guys
Not financial advice, but never listen to him.
Yeah, if you want to listen to someone, listen to him.
I'm starting to think Jonathan's a millionaire for some reason.
Oh, no, we're not. We're nowhere near that.
No.
We're nowhere near that. But you never know.
Give me
The next halving's in 2024, Jay. So we'll wait and see what happens.
I'm so excited for that year.
I'm already like counting down the days.
Like I'm poor now, don't worry, but later on I'm gonna be okay. So, you really brought up a lot of good points, and you know, it is very important for everyone to do their own research and, you know, make sure that you're investing money that you can afford to lose, guys. So thank you for bringing that up, Honeybadger and Jonathan. You know, that's very important for people to grasp and understand. So even though we're talking about being careful with your money, honestly, the way Honeybadger talks about Y-5, I literally just want to refinance my house and dump it all in there. This guy got like the bat phone to like Y-5 and like can call and make, you know, gets all the good secrets and whatnot. So how's that working out?
Well, that is a project that I love. Absolutely love it. It was my first ever, just to go back actually, it was my first ever Sweet Widget win for the whitelist. Obviously, Dramatic was at the start of December. I think it was the 3rd. And then the original Y-5 launch was, I think, was it Boxing Day? At the end of December.
Yeah, I think it was like the 26th of December or something like that.
So. And literally, I joined the group, and then it must have been a week or so before. I can't remember. I filled out the Sweet Widget and I won it.
Lucky bastard.
Yeah, it's a one. In fact, it's my only Sweet Widget I've ever won.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, won that. And at that time, I think B&B was around about what 500, 550 or something like that. I only had enough to put in one B&B. That I was like enough that I was willing to lose, you know, like going back to that point. I had more, but I was like, nah, I'm not prepared to lose any more than that. So I put in a B&B, and then obviously the contract failed. It wasn't working, and then they had to relaunch to like the start of January. And then I'd had a quick win on another project, and basically when they relaunch, I thought if they're gonna stick this out, like, because if they were gonna rug, they would have done it there and then, you know, when it all failed, or they would have given up or whatever. And the fact they didn't, and they resolved it as soon as it launched, it went back down to those sort of original launch prices. So I ended up doubling up on it or whatever again. So, but I love the project. It's a cracking project.
Yeah, I remember they had a problem and then they fixed it as soon as they could. And honestly, like they could have ran away with everyone's money right there and then, and they got it all together and they put it back a new program. Everything okay?
Yeah, no, everyone's fine. I've not got the laptop plugged in and the battery's low, so better go and get it plugged in. That's it.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
There we go. That's us back.
See, this is what I need to be here for.
No, it's not.
Does Jonathan do all your setups? Oh,
Yeah,
no.
we forgot to plug the laptop in though. Lights. There we go. Sorry about that, Jay.
No problems. This
That's-
is all good. And all honesty, I don't do no editing, so this is gonna be in the video.
Well, listen, the funny thing is, he's meant to be here to be my technical aid.
Oh me, oh my. This is awesome. Favorite sport or team?
Glasgow Rangers. Well, over here, Jay, but it's obviously we're football daft, it's soccer daft, you would call it. So yeah, Glasgow Rangers is our team over here. Just that the original Rangers, by the way, not your New York Rangers or anything like that.
Our baseball
they're-
Rangers, our Texas Rangers.
The original Rangers.
Okay.
Yeah, 150 years old, 1872. That was the first ever Rangers.
If you watch the round tables, he's really often wearing the strip.
Yeah, I wear the 150th anniversary strip sometimes, my white one. But yeah, Glasgow Rangers, mate.
Jonathan, same or?
Yep.
Yeah,
Same.
okay. That's awesome. Soccer. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Jonathan's been doing also building discords and putting together for other tokens, other cryptos. So how's that been going, Jonathan? And can you tell us some more information? Are you still going to be doing that because of your new job?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely going to keep doing that. It was my first like idea for how I could expand through crypto, because I wanted to do more than just invest in tokens. I wanted to see where I could apply some skills that I may have or may be able to develop. And one of the ones that I have remaining from all those years playing games is that I used to build and moderate gaming servers all the time because I was just always on Discord. And I realized that crypto projects actually pay for these things to get done. They need them to be done professionally to a certain standard, and it's something that I'm perfectly capable of doing. So I decided to start trying to advertise that to different places, and I started with AnonyDoxx. Then I did Reward Miner, and then Cypher, and then Rodeo, and I'm definitely going to keep doing that while I'm working for AnonyDoxx. Because like I said, obviously I'm still at a training stage of being a junior dev.
It's like an internship.
Yeah, so I'm still needing to find ways to get some more income, and personally I really don't like living off of investments alone. I will eventually once I get to a certain point, but for now I want
You
to
hope.
keep I will. No, I know. It's guaranteed, right? I will, right? But until I get to that certain point where it's going to be consistent, I don't want to be living off my investments. I want to be living off of work that I'm doing. And so for now, I'm going to keep doing the Discords. No, more tech issues.
Yeah. We freezed. I kicked my table, and this was awesome. I'm really, like I try to help Vibes too, like, or Jonathan. I told this guy, I'm like, hey dude, you need a Discord. This Telegram stuff, you're doing a sports consultant situation, it'd be so much better on Discord. You could have the different sports, you can have your paid channel for your paid subscribers, and this guy Jonathan could make it happen. And hopefully when I go to Vegas, if I run into him, I'll tell the guy again, like in person, but we'll see what happens. But Discords are very awesome. They're clean, they're easier to use. and we got the guy right here that can put them together for everybody. So he has no problem doing it, right, Jonathan?
Absolutely. Shameless plug.
And no, not shameless at all. And he obviously built the roundtable crew one as well.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin from BUSD Buffet did a lot of the
Planning.
sort of planning aspect of it over a couple of days, and then Jonathan put that server together, for us as well, which is great. There's almost 1,000 people in there now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's awesome. Like
Yeah.
seriously, Jonathan, like you're doing an amazing job. You're doing Discord, you're doing you're working with AnonyDoxx, and you're helping your dad as well with his technical stuff as far as all this stuff. So you're doing an awesome job. Like never congratulations
Thank you
on
very much.
Well,
Thank
he's going to be doing any technical analysis research soon,
you.
when he's diving into, smart contracts and various other things of tokens. So he can start doing, deep dive sort of things for us as well in future, which would be great.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I
yeah.
can't wait for those analyses, like to let us know whether the contract's solid or if there's a bug or a problem with it that doesn't sound right or look right.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You know, Honeybadger, you work on the roundtable, and you guys do a lot of good work as far as tokens, but you also do like, now I'm talking about the water pumps that you guys raised money
Yeah.
for, and
Yeah.
that's above and beyond, in all honesty. So that was amazing. Like, how do you both feel about that? Like, giving
Oh, well,
people the opportunity for clean water.
Yeah, well, that was phenomenal because obviously we'd all obviously heard of Safety Rocket when they launched on the Legion Launchpad and things like that. And we saw what we were doing. Todd interviewed Sid, and they named the first ever well after Todd. Todd was, crying and stuff like that on the interview. And then, yeah, it was when we were on a roundtable. It was actually driven by the community. Ultimately, I think it was Rabbit that actually suggested it, because we had, I think it was $250 to give away to, someone in the live comments or whatever. And Rabbit said, donate it to, the wells, the orphan aid wells in Pakistan. And then everyone that was on the live chat said, yes, let's do that, and stuff. So the person, and then we said, well, I tell you what, no, Brad said, I tell you what, we'll give away the prize, but I'll donate $250, dollars myself. And then it just snowballed and went from there. And we raised, like, over that next sort of week or so, we raised, I think it was just under $5,000 to build, 30 to 35 wells in different villages in Pakistan, these orphanages that children just don't have access to any clean water whatsoever. So to see that and to see the videos that have come out and stuff, me and Todd and Brad have said this privately, if we don't do anything else in this space, we don't care, because it's the lives that you touch along the way that is the most important thing, ultimately. And yeah, it means a lot. It really does. And that's the community that we're building ultimately, that are able to drive that and do that as well. So yeah, it's just phenomenal to be part of.
Yeah. And we talk a lot about crypto all the time. And, we can help people with crypto, and people can put some money in and take some money out, and it might go towards their future. It might go towards help paying the rent this month or whatever. But there's a complete difference between our sorts of woes in crypto and maybe losing some money or unstacked or whatever, and the money going over there and completely changing someone's ability to live or die. It's incredible to be able to do that from all the way over here, and especially from them just starting a channel where they want to just chat shite, just have some fun, drink a bit, and just live stream it on a Friday and have some fun. And then it just snowballs into donating a lot of money and changing a lot of people's lives. So it's definitely really good to be able to do that for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Having access to water is surely just a human right. It's essential to life ultimately, and it's sickening even in this day and age that there's people around the world in multiple countries just don't simply have access to it. It's disgusting, really.
Yeah, I'm so glad you guys did that. I was happily willing to donate as well. So it meant a lot to a lot of people in that Discord or in that Telegram, that where the money went and how it's affecting their lives. So good job, guys. Like we I'm glad you guys put that together. I'm glad Rabbit suggested that. So that's amazing. I'm happy. I just like you said, everything you said, pretty much I feel the same way. So that's awesome.
Yep.
Mostly just really proud of the community because it's not just them that came together, it was the entire community.
True.
Yeah.
True.
We wouldn't be able to do anything that we're doing really without the community, to be fair.
That is true. Let's see. Favorite movie. I usually ask kids movie, but people forget their favorite kids movie. So I'll just say favorite movie from here on out.
Shit, that is a difficult question, man.
I'll go first then. I have two. Wall-E. That's not just favorite kids movie. That's just favorite movie. Oh, banging film.
Wall-E.
And then Pulp Fiction. Wall-E and Pulp Fiction. I know there's some contrast there.
That's a hell of a genre mix.
Yeah.
Were you old enough when Pulp Fiction came out, or did your dad have to show you that?
Oh
No, we
no.
watched it together a year or two ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wild.
Oh, it's phenomenal. Brilliant movie. That would be up there actually for me, to be fair, as well. Oh man. I'm gonna have to say, see, I've got so many, but The Godfather 1 and 2, I have to lump them together. I absolutely love those movies. But then Goodfellas, The Departed, Jesus Christ. Oh, that's a really hard question, Jay.
Oh my.
I'm gonna Shawshank Redemption as well.
Oh yeah.
Basic.
Shut up. I'm gonna go for out of those. I'm gonna go for Godfather 1 and 2. I'm gonna put them together.
Okay.
Love gangster movies. Scarface and all that as well. I love all those old movies. And it's tragic as well, because this last week you've had two of those sort of gangster actors, pass away as well. Recently the guy from Sopranos and the guy from Goodfellas yesterday, I think it was Paul Sorvino as well, passed away.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so but all those movies I absolutely love them. But I do enjoy Pulp Fiction as well. That'd be right up there too.
Godfather has nothing on Wall-E though.
Wally. Oh god.
Honeybadger, you do realize someone's gonna clip that and now they're gonna add it too.
Yeah, probably. At least I'm not eating a watermelon.
The watermelon was classic. That was amazing.
If it cheered Fame up, that's all that matters.
That's amazing. Yeah, like if you could put a smile on someone's face by just doing something silly and funny, why not? Why not?
Well, absolutely. If you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at in this world? And as you know, I said that on the round table when we did it as well. If we can just give some people a laugh, especially in this current market, it's good seeing a little bit of green again, but it's been quite depressing for a number of weeks now with the amount of red we're seeing and stuff like that. So if we could just give some people a laugh on a Friday night, if that's all that's needed for me, because that's the way it should be,
Yeah, a laugh goes a long way.
Correct. Exactly.
It does help. So I want to talk about the investors pit, because in all honesty, I love hearing the investors pits. I get new information on different cryptos that I've never heard of. This was amazing. Good job, Honeybadger, Todd, DeFi Connect for putting this together, because it opens our eyes to different projects. A lot of people just center on one project. And there's more projects out there. You should diversify your portfolio because you never know what might happen. So, could you speak about the investors pit a little bit? And both of you
well,
guys.
I as a fellow investor myself, I feel exactly the same way you do. I just love how, like I said earlier, it's a show hosted by investors for investors. The projects aren't really involved. We've been very fortunate that on the investor pit so far, the projects have been willing to even just put up a prize, or a number of prizes, and we've given away almost $5,000 worth of native tokens since we started it, $2,500 to almost $3,000 in BUSD. We've given out countless whitelist spots and for maybe pre-launch ones that are on it and various others. But I just love the sort of the dynamic of it. There's nothing else like it. And when you hear other investors talk enthusiastically about a project that they're invested in, it just adds so much more to it. But it's it's killing my. I'm trying to bank some BUSD right now, and it's just wiping that out constantly. Because we don't, haven't heard of a lot of these projects, or maybe we've heard of them, but we've not really, done any sort of, digging in or research into. And there's been quite a few now over the weeks where it's like, oh, what? That's what they're doing? That's who they're partnering with? Oh, right, okay. I maybe need to look into this. So it's just becoming impossible to save some BUSD right now, because I do end up like, oh, I'll just buy just a little bag of that or a little bag of this, and the next thing you know, oh well, that's I'm gonna have to wait a little bit longer to bank that BUSD again then. So, but I really enjoy it. I love it, absolutely love it. Obviously we've got one tomorrow on Wednesday as well with another 4 projects and another 4 investors. So yeah, really looking forward to that, and that's a blockbuster lineup as well.
This is a consistent text message conversation, all right, between me and him. I'm about to start the investors pit later on that night. You should really look into XYZ. I'm gonna buy some now. Next day, I've doubled my bag in XYZ. 2 days later, I've doubled my bag in XYZ. I hear him say I've doubled my bag a lot.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's just, it's one of those things, but that's the beauty of it ultimately. And I think if you think about it, Jay, from a project's point of view as well, it doesn't cost them anything, to be on it for an investor to come and, present a project. It doesn't cost them anything. Yes, they're happy to put up prizes and stuff like that, which is awesome. We haven't had one say, no, I don't want to put up a prize, because I think for the investors to come up and speak about a project timed for 5 minutes, it's really challenging to do that. And, we've had people that have maybe suffered from a bit of anxiety, really nervous about it. And, I've gone back and forward with them to try and give them some top tips and things like that, for public speaking, etc. And how it can, go as best as planned. But the presentation just getting better and better. You can see the level of sort of preparation and hear the level of preparation that's sort of gone into them. In time. But from a project's point of view, it doesn't cost them anything. And it's not like, if you do a normal AMA, depending on the size of the project, you might get, 100 listens or 200 listens, maybe 400 listens or whatever. Some of the investor pits that we've done, because it's 4 projects, 4 communities incentivized to listen to it, to enter in a competition to win prizes. And we're getting like 1,800 people listening to it and stuff like that. It's phenomenal. So from a project's point of view, it's great, because it maybe brings other investors into their socials, into their TGs, and eventually, they might end up investing in them ultimately. And it's free marketing at the end of the day.
Right.
Yep.
Like these other tokens need to like literally use this platform for their own benefits. Like it would help them out as well. Like if they got a solid project and everything's legit with them, of course.
Yeah, so, and the thing is as well, we don't have, we don't pay for followers on Twitter or anything like that as well. I think Todd's got like, I don't know what, 3,000, 3.5. I've got 1,500 or something like that there. Or no, a 1,200, I think. But DeFi Connection's got a lot more. He's got over 6. I think between us, we've got maybe 10,000. But the people that are following us and the people that are watching our roundtables or watching or listening into the investor pits and things like that, these people are actual investors. Do you know what I mean? And that's where the value is for the actual projects, just to get some free marketing like that ultimately, because these people are actually the people that are investing in this space. I've not got 200,000 followers and you put out a tweet and none of those people that see that tweet actually give a shit about it, or maybe not even operating in the BSC space. So I suppose that's where the sort of value comes into it as well.
Yeah, you get like a lot of marketing where you might get 100,000 impressions or 1,000,000 impressions, but who's seeing that? Who are those impressions? Are they really people that are actually going to put some money into that? And the people that watch the pit are intentionally going out their way to find information about these projects, or even try to win a giveaway or support the people who are doing the presentations.
Yeah.
So they are the people that you want the impressions to go to. So it's not like your usual marketing. It's highly targeted,
Yeah.
so it's very good for projects for sure.
Yeah, and there's like, well, even this week, all 4 projects I know very little about that are on tomorrow, on Wednesday as well. You've got Luca presenting Hibiki, you've got Meta Captain Chris presenting Bitburn. I do know a little bit about that, obviously. We talked about it a lot on the roundtable. The other 3, Nobility Token, I've heard of it. Again, not really dug too deep into it. NBL Darren's presenting that. And then you've got Gordon Trinoviak presenting DeFi Kings, which again is one I've heard of, but haven't known. So out of the 4, only 3 of them, there's the 3 of them I don't really know anything really about in terms of any level of detail. So, that's the beauty of it as well. And I really hope we can get some more cross-chain projects on it as well. So it's not just all BSC space, because I think for everyone in the sort of BSC space, we're in this little bubble. We're in this little bubble, and we've got the blinkers on off into other things that are happening on AVAX or Kronos or any of these sort of other chains as well, because they've got their launches, just like BSC have got their launches, which we're obviously more heavily focused on and stuff like that. So it'd be good to broaden our horizons a little bit more by having some more cross-chain stuff, definitely.
Yeah. I would love to see some Cardano stuff on there or anything, but like I was invested or really liked Stacks. Obviously, we all know where Stacks went, but out of that investors pit, I got to know about Volt Finance, and I got to know about Reward Miner coin. So I was like, this isn't what I thought it was going to be at first. I was like, oh, I'm just going to go support Stacks. No, I learned so much more, and I got to know about 2 new cryptos that I'm going to be invested in. So I was, I like this investors pit a whole lot. It brings me, like I said, opens up my diversity. I'm sorry. It opens up my portfolio to different projects. So yeah, I'm glad you guys do that. I really do appreciate it, both of you.
Oh no, it's our pleasure. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love hosting it. It's great fun.
So what do you guys like to do on your days off? Like, is there somewhere, like, if you could just do whatever, or what is it?
If I want to switch off and take time away, I love going wild camping. Obviously Scotland's a beautiful country, and we've got a number of stunning mountains and lochs, well, you would call them lakes, in the States. So I just like going away, going camping. I've got a sort of it's a rigid inflatable boat. It's like a sort of like a big, huge dinghy with an aluminium floor with an outboard motor. So get out on the boat, do some fishing, find a secluded camping spot. You can wild camp anywhere in Scotland. You don't need a license for it or anything like that. So I just love getting away, getting into the countryside and doing things like that. Really, that's my passion.
And personally, I just like filling my days with stuff constantly. I just like always having something to do. So going out with friends or just going out in general. I play some games. Rocket League fan club, let's go. Mostly,
music.
mostly.
You mostly listen to music.
Like, oh, constantly. Yeah. If there's not music on, silence is deafening. Okay, so yeah, I'm music, and yeah, mostly just spending time with my friends.
So I was gonna ask this question, but obviously you guys are in a different country and you probably listen to different music. So I wasn't too sure, but what kind of music do you listen to? Music from the States, or do you just listen to music from where you're at? How does that?
Yeah, well, no, we listen to music from all over the world. I was a drummer for a good few years. I played in various bands in my youth, in my early sort of 20s and things like that. When he was a kid, I was a drummer in a number of different bands, and so we used to play things like Queens of the Stone Age, Foo Fighters, stuff like that. But we played a lot of old music as well, like Black Sabbath, Jimi Hendrix, Deep Purple, Rolling Stones. God, just Arctic Monkeys, stuff like that. So we used to play a lot of rock music, and we wrote our own music as well. But I like every type of music, everything. I'll listen to techno, electronic music, rock music, classical music, a little bit of jazz, quite like a little bit of jazz. But I'll listen to anything. If it sounds good to my ears, I'll listen to it. I've got no real huge preferences, but rock music's my thing. That's what I grew up in the mid 90s with Oasis and Blur and all those sort of bands back in the day here. But I love all sorts, Motown, stuff like that as well. Love it.
I just love anything that makes a sound. So
literally, honestly, he can't.
Could be clanging, anything. Tinnitus.
He can't.
Whoa.
Yeah, he can't go to the toilet without putting music on. Or like, as soon as he walks into the kitchen, it's Alexa. You know, it's just there has to be music on all the time. This is the longest today since he's been round where we haven't had music on this interview. So yeah.
Well, honestly, thank you, Jonathan, for not playing music, because I think my video would get banned. So I appreciate it. Right?
Yeah, copyright. Yeah.
So thank you. But good God, Honeybadger was a boxer and a drummer. Like, what else do we not know about you, Honeybadger?
Like I said, if he does something, he just goes for it. So as soon as he picks something up and he's like, "Oh, I like this," he just goes for it. So he knows like a million magic tricks too. So
don't tell him that.
Nerd.
Yeah, I do know quite a lot of magic. Yeah.
Honestly, Honeybadger, me and you are on the same wavelength. I love magic. I love, well, I never played the drums, but I love playing air drums, like while I'm listening to music, whether I'm listening to, like, I don't know, Jimi Hendrix or whatever. Yeah. And then at the same time, like boxing, like this is amazing. I didn't know we had so much in common, in all honesty. Like,
I know, that's awesome. No, I do like my magic, mate. I do like my magic.
Yeah. Card tricks or
yeah, quite a lot of card stuff. I learned, so the old David Blaine specials that got me into it back in the day when he was doing all the card stuff. But there's so many amazing modern magicians as well, like Shin Lim and various other guys, that are in Vegas. It's all, I've never been to Vegas, but I've always wanted to go and see Penn and Teller, because they're absolutely fantastic. Love those guys. And Shin Lim's playing there now as well. So no, I do like a bit of magic. I've got a fair stack of stuff. I don't really do it much anymore, but if I'm at a party, like one of my friends will always say, go and do a magic trick, Dave, or something like that. So it's one of those, really. I don't do it I just do it as a hobby.
So back in the day, they had a TV show where there was a magician, like
The Masked Magician.
Oh, yes. Did you watch that? Did you like that?
Yeah, with the black mask and stuff. Yeah. I remember that.
I also watched Fool Me with Penn and Teller. So like I always like
brilliant.
So
that guy I'm mentioning, Shin Lim, he fooled them twice.
Okay.
He fooled them twice. If you've not heard of him, Google, like, go on YouTube after this, and Shin Lim.
Which trick did he film with? Because I think I might have seen him. Do you remember the trick?
I can, but it was all card magic.
Okay.
On the table, but he's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. I think he won America's Got Talent twice as well, or something.
Okay.
Once or twice. Judy did.
All right. Well.
Yeah. Brilliant,
so,
man.
Like we said,
check him out, Shin Lim.
So like we said, Honeybadger's a boxer, a magician, a drummer. An outdoorsman. Like, this is awesome.
I've got plenty of hobbies. Yeah.
So where can people find you? Like Discord, like what's the best, different avenues that they can get to you? Maybe as Vibes or Jonathan for, Discord, or, to get into the Investors Pin. Where can they find you guys?
So for me, I am pretty much always on Discord. That's the best place to get me. I'm often on the Roundtable Discord server and the AnonyDoxx and Reward Miner Discord server. Those are my main three. I'm also on Twitter. That's Vibes_XMR. I retweet a lot of Monero stuff. Where else am I? That's about it. Yeah,
that's about it. Well, we've got our Roundtable crew Telegram, and obviously we've got our Discord as well. So on my Twitter, Honeybadger_DeFi. I actually think the handle is at Honeybadger1314, 1314. I've got the links there to, our I think it's our Discord that's on there. Yeah, I'm just checking it now. Yeah, so I've got the link to our Discord channel on there. So find me either of those places really. And if you're an investor that wants to speak about a project, on the investor pit and come and present them for 5 minutes, definitely reach out to me, because it is myself that will organize that for you.
Awesome. I'm actually gonna put you guys' links down below in the description. So if anybody wants to get in touch with them, like just click on the links. They should be good to go through their Twitter account.
Great.
And big reminder to everyone, go and like and subscribe to Jay's channel, Passive Income TV.
Exactly.
Like this video, like all the other ones, watch them all, save them, subscribe, resubscribe, turn on notifications, do all the things.
He's out.
Thank you so much, John. I appreciate that.
Though. Yeah, do that. And absolutely. I mean, you're trying to get this sort of off the ground now, Jay. And like I said, the rabbit interview was great, and this has been great fun as well. So yeah, please give him a like and subscribe. He's a good guy, and he's a massive pillar in the sort of DeFi community now.
Awesome. Appreciate that, guys. We're towards the end of the video. Pretty much this is it. I was kind of wondering, is there anything you want to shed some light on that we maybe didn't talk about that you'd like to get across, that maybe either something vibes that you're working on, or something Honeybadger that you got going on that you want people to know about?
I just want to say a level of appreciation for Jonah and the AnonyDoxx team for helping support Jonathan through this sort of journey. They didn't need to do it. They don't need to do it. But the fact that they're doing that, and you can obviously maybe see some potential in what he can bring with that. I just want to say a massive thank you to them for doing it. It could really be something that long term really changes his life ultimately as well. So just a massive bit of appreciation, and again, really appreciative of Todd and Brad and everything that we're doing in the community that we're building. I can't speak highly enough for the support that I've had from the community and from Todd and Brad, and it's just great fun. I just feel privileged to be able to do this, and after only coming into the space 7-8 months ago, to be doing this and to be on YouTube on a YouTuber show that I used to watch avidly and stuff like that, to be able to do the roundtable and have some fun and some laughs. I just love it. I absolutely love it. So thank you to all those people that I've built those relationships with over the recent months, and long may it continue.
Yep, agreed. I mean, definitely biggest thank you to AnonyDoxx, and especially Jonah, because they've given me an opportunity, but before that they've even grew me, I don't know, like I'm a seed. Yeah, they've developed me like a picture, and now they've got the picture, and they're wanting to help me and give me an opportunity and see what they can get from me as well. And just really appreciate that, because it could definitely be life-changing for me. And just a big thank you to everyone in the community in general, and to everyone that I've met since getting into this space, because it's definitely changed my life, and it has made me grow, not just financially, but as a person as well.
That's awesome. Well, once again, I can't thank you guys enough. I really do appreciate you guys giving me a time and day, an hour of your guys' day. I really do appreciate that. It means a lot to me. I honestly think this is really cool that you guys are a father's son and you're into crypto, because in all honesty, going to a party, going to places and talking about crypto, people don't want to hear it. People don't even understand it. People just, they're like, oh, hear that weird guy with weird money. Go over there.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So you guys want to say goodbye to everybody who's watching and whatnot?
Yep.
Thanks for having us on.
Thanks for having us on, Jay. Really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Remember, this
stay hard.
Stay hard.
Oh man. Oh, I'm gonna let that one go. I'm not even gonna let you guys know who that is, but he is on the Reflex team. No, thank you guys for giving us an hour of your time. I do appreciate it. Once again, this is not financial advice. Thank you to our two special guests. Thank you for giving me some of your time as well. I do appreciate it. And guys, we'll see you on the next video. Thank you so much, and talk to you guys later. Bye.